close the third thing, that the third technical skill that we need for managing the operations of the CD is close management and monitoring of cash flow during the process of CIRP or during the process of liquidation. As we have discussed already, it is the cash flow which is the lifeline of a business. And remember, this is applicable to every business. Every business doesn't really matter as to what is the geography, doesn't really matter as to what is the industry, doesn't really matter as to what is the product, doesn't really matter whether it's manufacturing or service. It is every business. The focus or the lifeline is the cash profit. So what can be done as an insolvency professional, or what technical skill is required by an insolvency professional for managing the cash flow? Now, in my experience and in my understanding, whenever you come across a new assignment of CIRP and you go to the company, you go to the plant, you will come across three possible scenarios. And what those three possible scenarios are? Those three possible scenarios as regards the cash flow can be, number one, it is negative. यानी कि सीडी के पास में जो कैश है ही नहीं, कैश नहीं है और नेगेटिव है. So when I say negative, that means CD is already incurring losses. So every month CD is bleeding, and when I say bleeding, that means it does not have cash, rather it is consuming cash. The second situation, which is better, and that is neutral. That means this CD is at a break-even point. Is at a break-even point, so it's not making losses, not making profit, but there's a bad working capital management. There's a bad fund deployment. As a result of that, the CD is not able to pay to its lenders or to its suppliers, and that is why the CD has landed in the NCLT. So that is the second scenario, and that is neutral. And the third is positive. So which means the CD is having a positive cash flow. Again, for whatever reason, the company has gone to NCLT, but the cash flow is still positive. So if these three scenarios, these three are the possible scenarios that we are likely to land. Doesn't really matter as to whether the cash flow is negative or neutral or positive. Our approach and our strategy, our game plan still got to be same in all the three scenarios. So what would need to be done? So the tools for the cash flow management of the cash flow are known to every one of us. And what these tools are? Number one is strict daily cash flow management. Strict meaning absolutely strict cash flow management. Incidentally, friends, you realize more often than not, in most of the cases, of course, there are reasons for these CDs to face trouble because of bad financial management, or maybe fraud also. But in many of the cases, the reason for a company to become to be on the path of the insolvency is because of the bad working capital management or bad fund flow management. तो पहले क्या करिए, डेली कैश फ्लो मैनेजमेंट, पुट दैट इन प्रैक्टिस. 3 years 3 months rolling cash flow, and then of course annual budget. Of course, we apparently, when we get the assignment of insolvency resolution, we are not going to be there for infinity or for a long time. Yet it is a good practice to start the annual budget. And that means what? That means assuming that this situation may run for a year or two, how the cash flow for the year 1 or 2 would look like, that is what is the first thing that should be done. Now, what are the principles of efficient cash flow management?